Wow, I'm live. Finally. Yay. Hey, hope everyone's having a good day. Happy Tuesday. And I am live, definitely live. I'm sorry it's so blurry. I'm still trying to fine tune this thing. But I'm up and I'm live, and that's the main thing. So I wanted to go over a few things really quickly that I've been posting on my website and just kind of just do something really quickly. Let everybody know that I am live. All right, they did. Anyway, welcome everyone. This is the Astrology Witch, and I just wanted to go over a few things that are happening in the forecast. I've been posting like a bandit for the last week and a half, and I kind of wanted to give you guys a little more than just what I'm posting on my website. I'm trying to get a little more tech savvy here and trying to create my own YouTube channel. I think I've fine-tuned things. You would think the lady that does radio and is as a DJ could be able to get this. Oh my. It's a work in progress. All right. First, I want to start by saying we have a lot of changes that have come in the past week. The main one, the big one, and the one that's here for a while is, I call it the draconian shift. And I do have an article posted on my website, www.astrologywitch.com, all about that. But I wanted to elaborate just a little bit more about that. Some of you have been asking me questions, and so I want to answer those questions for you. One of the main questions that I've been receiving in my emails has to do with the stock market. Investments. I know a lot of people that follow me do that. They're investors, and I've had some people tell me I've made them a lot of money with the advice I've given. So good luck. Here we go. Draconian energy shift. We were in a Leo Aquarius axis for the past 18 months. It shifted as of November 7th of 2018. We went into a shift. And it shifted into a Cancer head, Capricorn tail. So it's a Cancer water dragon, as I call it. And for those of you who are going, what is the dragon? If you're new, I practice the ancient method of astrology and astropsychology. You can call it the Nostradamus method. It's one of the more ancient methods of astrology. I am not a modern astrologer. However, I have many friends that practice modern astrology. I just feel that when we don't focus on the housing system and the north and south nodes of the dragon, we can kind of give our own star chart a lot of disservice, because there's a lot of very important information in those aspects. So anyway, we had this shift, and it's going to stay with us till May 5th of 2020. What does this all mean? Well, I have my article up here, so I want to explain it a little bit to you. And what this means is we've moved into, first of all, Cancer and Capricorn we're going to be tested to our limits. This energy is right on us. You will notice in the next 18 months there will be many Capricorns and Cancers, July and January born movie stars and actors and famous people that will lose their lives. This happens. It will affect mostly the sun signs of Cancer and Capricorn, but it will also affect you if you have a natal dragon or a hidden sitting in one of these two signs. It will affect you. A moon or a rising in any of these two signs, you will be not infected, but affected the most. You will feel it. Very important to know your lucky and unlucky days. I will be offering this in a couple of weeks. right before December 1st. I'm going to try and launch that, and I'll have a really good deal, and I'll take really good care of you guys. But what this energy is stating is that Cancer, think of Cancer. What is Cancer? Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. She rules the breasts and the stomach. She's the mother. She is emotion. She's family. She's security. She's spirituality. She rules food and the hospitality industry. She rules real estate industry. And anytime you have this planet or this energy, not planet, but energy manifesting, you're going to see a lot more things happening in the news with water issues, flooding, boating incidences, drownings, things of that nature. Just because everything is positive and negative, and just because Cancer's in its positive state does not mean the negativity of certain Cancer traits doesn't take effect, especially in a waning moon. Those of you who know the universal laws understand where I'm coming from. We're advanced souls. Some of you are just joining me and are learning, and welcome. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have for me. Anyway, for the next 18 months, we're going to have this energy. What is happening is this is a kinder, gentler side to us. If you notice the last energy we had, it was a Leo and an Aquarian energy. Now, think about Leo. Leo rules children. It rules love. It rules romance. What made the headlines this past year on the news? Think about it. What made headlines? Oh, let's see. Little children being held in detention centers along the border. That was the outrage from certain people. Children made the news. It was about children. It was about fire. Leo's a fire sign. So you saw a lot of fires. We're still having fires, and we've shifted. However, good news, California, next week, all of Thanksgiving weekend, it's going to rain. Thank you, my native brothers and sisters, for doing the rain dance. We need this rain. I'm trying to show you the energies that are at hand back then and now. So in the next 18 months, you'll see a lot of interesting things with water, especially after a waning moon. More incidents will take place with water. So if you plan on going for a cruise, you're blessed by the stars to go on a cruise. Just follow the universal laws and you'll be fine. When we talk about Cancer, we also talk about spirituality. And the one thing that's happened is people have lost their spirituality. And we're going to reconnect again as a nation. We're going to heal, I hope, as a nation. There are things that are getting ready to come out that science isn't going to be able to explain in the metaphysical realm. You'll see this happen in the next 18 months. We'll talk about Capricorn in a minute. I'm getting to that. But one of my best advices, and my best advice, I can't talk today. I'm sorry. I took the day off from work because one of my kids had a tooth pulled this morning, and I feel like I'm getting sick. So drinking lots of water and taking lots of vitamin C, but I'm sorry if I'm not speaking clearly enough. My apologies. Cancer rules real estate. So when the economy and the bubble bursts, and the bubble will burst, you're going to see the stock market's going to take a very bad hit. If you're in the stock market, you need to stop. Unless you're into Bitcoin, my Bitcoin clients, you will be fine. Bitcoin might take a little bit of a hit, but not nearly as bad as what's going to happen with the real estate and stock market. If you're a big investor, I do stocks as well. I just do unconventional stocks. Okay, I do medical marijuana stocks, making me some money. Those will take a hit too, but nobody's going to stop smoking pot and using it, especially in states. I think Michigan, was it Michigan or Wisconsin? One of these states just became legal. As more and more states become legal, the the growth is bigger and the demand gets bigger. Therefore, your stocks get bigger. As long as you know which ones to invest in, you're okay. But other stuff is going to fall, okay? Banking industry, interest rates are going to go up. The bottom is going to fall, okay? The bubble's getting ready to burst. Play your cards right. And you are an investor. And you wait till about summer of 2019 into early fall, you're going to be able to get some incredible real estate deals. So if you're an investor and you like to invest in real estate, sit tight, my friends, for the next 6 months. Sit back, watch what happens, and of course, always invest in the right stars. July is a great month to invest. It's blessed under Cancer. It's Cancer's month. July is a constellation of Cancer. You also have a solar eclipse that month. And the sun, remember, sun is about self, yourself. So it gives you the empowerment to do things. You're blessed under the stars, so to speak. If you are an investor, stop with the stocks, save the money, and invest in real estate for come summertime, 2019. You'll see big changes. On to Capricorn. When we talk about Capricorn, every sign has its positive and negatives, okay? And just like Cancer's negative is moody and kind of, they're the crab of the zodiac. People always say, oh, she's just an emotional Cancer. Well, emotional, yes. Intuitive, tenfold. If you're a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, you have the gift of intuition. You're born with it. So remember that. Capricorn, remember the tail is in Capricorn. The head is right on us, the United States of America, July 4th, 1776. The tail is on Capricorn, which is ruled by the United Kingdom. Brexit, you're going to hear a lot about Brexit. You're going to hear a lot of changes. It's in its negative state over in England. So British better buckle up because it's going to be a rough ride. It's going to be a rough ride. However, like I said, everything has its positive and negative. Capricorn rules politics. It rules the government. It's in its positive state. Capricorn is structure and discipline. It's the father of the zodiac. It's stability. We get the job done. That's Capricorn. Work. In its negative state, though, we're getting ready to deal with how do I say this? I'm just going to say it. Manipulative and abuse of power is getting ready to be exposed. That's what we're getting ready to see with this energy coming. It's unyielding, it's cold, and it's calculated. It's snobbish. This is also the sign that, remember, I'm Capricorn, but I'm an exception to the rule. I've been taught and trained how to use my fishtail to swim into the world of metaphysics. Not all most Capricorns that I've met in my lifetime either steer two ways. This way, completely religious, or to the complete opposite of completely atheist. There's not really too many of myself around that are Capricorn. But I've been able to learn how to use my fishtail and swim upstream instead of swimming downstream. So that helps me. But Capricorn, just because you can't see it, feel it, or touch it doesn't mean it does not exist. Remember that. And the one thing Capricorn does rule is science. And something major is coming in the next 18 months in the realm of science. Something metaphysical, highly spiritual is going to happen. And Capricorn's not going to be able to debunk that. They're gonna be stumped. Something interesting will happen. It may not happen now. It's not going to happen tomorrow. We have a whole 18 months to go. So we'll see what happens. But those are some of the facts on Capricorn. Our government's going to see many, many changes coming as well. We're going to see the self-serving abuse of Capricorn come to light. It's going to come through politics. You're going to see constitutional crises and social unrest in a great many ways will happen. Okay? You're going to see financial disaster in a great many ways. Like I just said, we just talked about this a minute ago. I'm not going to repeat it, but yes, the economy is getting ready to drop. I don't think it's going to be as bad as the 2007, 2008 crisis, but it's still going to be pretty bad. Best advice for all of you out there, this is my own advice too. I need to take my own advice. Shop less, buy what you need, but don't buy ridiculous stuff right now because you're going to need that money for basic necessities eventually. This is also going to create natural disasters, okay? Remember the tails in Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. Now, you had Uranus that was in Uranus, planet, sudden release of energy, was in Taurus. Taurus is earth. It jumped back into Aries, but it's not going to be in Aries for very long. I think it's only there for like 4 months, and then it's going to go back into Taurus. This, along with the dragon tail being in Capricorn, is going to put stress on our fault lines. Okay? Earth changes. Anytime you have a tail in an earth sign, earthquakes are very common. Volcanoes are very common. Now, we have earthquakes every day. There's usually, I'm in California, and if it's not above a 4.0, ain't nothing but a thing. As they say here in California. It's no big deal. But you will see them get stronger and stronger and stronger. It's just a matter of time before California gets the big one. I hope I'm wrong, but 97% of the time I'm not. 97%. There's always that 3%. If I was 100%, I wouldn't be human. Because humans are flawed. Remember that. All of us are flawed. You're going to see the news, England come up, and Brexit, and if our politicians are getting ready to be exposed for the corruption, because that's what remember, Capricorn's karmic. It's a karmic sign. The only other sign in the zodiac like Capricorn that is karmic is Pisces. Now, I know what some of you are going to say, oh, you're a witch, witches don't believe in karma. This is very true. To a certain extent, and I might have to do a whole nother show just on that, karma and whatnot. I might do that one day, set up a whole nother show for that subject. However, there's universal karma. There is past life karma. Okay? Capricorn rules politics, so karma is coming to our politicians. Come tax season, when we're all filing our taxes, we are going to be highly disappointed. And we're going to feel betrayed, and we're going to feel let down. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I could say plenty, but I'm not. That's all I'm going to say. You just wait and see what happens. The self-serving abuse of this sign is going to come to light. It's also going to put an effect on the monarchy, the royals, and you're going to see corruption and abuse come out over there as well, across the pond. So get ready because the news should be very entertaining and very enlightening in the next 18 months. There are some days I want you to be aware of, and if I can bring them up. I do want to add one more thing that I just saw in my notes. With the North Node being in Cancer and, United States as a Cancer nation, think about it for a minute. We love our food. Remember the commercial years ago? It's as American as apple pie and Chevrolet. Well, that is America. We are the mother of the world. We're the mother of the zodiac. We're always there to help another country. We're the first ones there for this, that, and the other. And probably the only thing I'll ever agree with our president on is that we need to take care of our country. That doesn't mean we need to be heartless and not care about humanity in general, but we do need to take care of our nation first and its people, which we're not doing. I don't care how many laws you pass, it's not working. But I do feel we're going to find our humanity again. It's just a matter of time, okay? Just a matter of time. Go check out my website, www.astrologywitch.com. I posted a great article on the draconian energy a few days ago. But remember, Capricorn is control and abuse. So you're going to see a lot of control and abuse come to light, but you're also going to see them pay for it, karmically speaking. Forecast for 2019. The world's going to feel this energy. It's on its strongest, in its strongest state. Come January 19th, July 2019, and January 2020. Now, keep in mind, we have January 5th, I think it is, we have a solar eclipse, or is it lunar? I will tell you in just a minute what it is, if I can find it. Bear with me, people. I'm sorry. Bear with me. Where is it? Okay, January 5th. Solar eclipse in Capricorn. Then, and that's one of the months I'm telling you to watch for. You're going to see some interesting things take place from January 2019. July 2019, another month of caution here and strong draconian energy. And if you look at the list here, we have a solar eclipse in Cancer. So then we have January of 2020. Now, we don't have an eclipse, but on December 26th of 2019, we have a solar eclipse again in Capricorn. Partial solar eclipse this time, my understanding. July 16th, we have a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So, I just know I'm going to be very busy doing readings for a lot of Capricorns and a lot of Cancers. That this energy that's coming it's intense. It's here, and it's intense. You guys that are watching, you can get in the chat. I know there's only 2 or 3 of you in there, but I don't bite. Okay, so wherever you have Capricorn and Cancer in your chart, you're going to feel this energy completely. You're going to both positive and negative. It's really important that you know your lucky and unlucky days, your positive and negative days. On my website, I do not offer this yet, but I will. In the next few weeks, it's something I'm going to be offering you, and it's affordable. And what I mean by affordable is I go on a lot of different sites, I watch a lot of different people, and I see what other people charge. And in these hard times, you can charge a little less than that. So it will be affordable. It'll be something that's under $50, and you get a whole year's forecast. So keep an eye out for that. I will put an announcement out very soon about when I'm offering that. So stay tuned for that. But back to the forecast. Like I said, the world's going to feel this energy the strongest on those dates. Blah, 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 blah. Remember, Cancer rules food. It also rules helping and taking care of one another. So when we see crisis, which we are, unfortunately, there will be crisis coming for our people. When you see crisis, you're also going to see the kindness of humanity come out in us. Let's hope. We will see one another taking care of each other and helping our fellow man. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to see crisis in order to repair ourselves and become a better nation and stop all the division. That's the problem with this country. We're divided. So, anyway, there is hope. One thing I do want to say is whether you're Capricorn or Cancer, if you have a sun, moon, rising, natal dragon, hidden dragon in one of these two signs, you will feel it the most. However, others will feel it too, because wherever you have Cancer and Capricorn in your chart, you'll feel this energy. You know, some people sit there and say, well, I'm a Leo. I don't have that. No, that's not true. We have the entire zodiac in our chart. Each house represents a human experience. And each house is governed and controlled, some more than others because of certain planetary placements. But let's use myself as an example. The last energy we had was a Leo Aquarius. I'm Capricorn, so my 8th house and my 2nd house was being tested. And the 2nd house is wealth. I had the tail on there. So it was wealth. It was self-esteem, and it was finances. It's your money house. 8th house, I had the dragon's head sitting there in Leo. That's death. That's rebirth. That's transformation. That's other people's money. It's joint finances. So I was being tested in those 2 houses. And I know it was those stars. It was that energy. So wherever you are, whatever sign you are, you will feel this energy. It just might not be as intense as it will be for, someone who's, Capricorn or Cancer who has a dragon's head or tail in one of those 2 signs, Cancer or Capricorn. So that's something to be aware of. Now, on to something else, because I'm going to get off this thing in about 5 minutes. I'm actually pleased that this is recording and going well, because it's like, Linda, take 3, Linda, take 4, Linda, take 5. Hey, the 6th one was the charm. I do want to go and talk about the forecast for this week, because we've had some changes in that. I might go back on later tonight and I might give you a Jupiter report. So in the Jupiter report is a positive forecast. The one I'm doing now is kind of a little dark and depressing in some ways. But you have to be told this. You have to know. If you don't know, then you can't protect and save yourself. So it's all about knowing the stars. Just consider me the messenger of the gods. That's what I am. I just read the stars. That's all I do. Forecast for this week. Let me close out of this and go back to my weekly forecast and kind of using my website as a guide. And please ignore the mess in the back. I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and now my kids have found more stuffed animals and stuff that they don't want anymore. So now I'm dealing with that as well. We had Jupiter move. Jupiter moved at... I'll go over Jupiter later. Let's go to this week's forecast. I'll do another podcast later, and we'll go over that later. The forecast for November 12th through the 18th is got a lot of things going on in it. We have a sign change. We have one planet going direct, and we have one going retrograde. So The sign change. First, we have Mercury. We have Venus, who's been retrograde for about a month and a half now, I'd say. Month and a half. She goes direct on the 16th of November. And that is the green light for getting married, proposals. You never get married when Venus goes retrograde, ever, 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 ever. Venus has gone retrograde, or has gone direct. It's a green light now. You ladies and gentlemen out there, I told you a month ago in my newsletter, don't have anything done at a beauty place. Hair, makeup, don't get fillers. I've seen nightmares with women who go and get Botox and fillers and things don't go right because it's not blessed under the stars. I'm actually thinking of writing a book about how to use the stars with medicine. You use the stars and use the universal laws of the moon, your procedures in life will go much better. Okay? So Venus has gone direct. It is a green light now, ladies. I even have my hair appointment set for this weekend. I have prolonged getting my hair done because I didn't want to be disappointed. I know better than to go to a hair salon and get my hair cut when Venus has gone retrograde, because you're not happy. You leave mad at the hairdresser. Don't get facials. Everything you do should be at home remedies, at home facials, at home mani pedicures. You can even do your own at home hair colorings. Just don't go and have it done. It's not blessed under the stars. And at Dream Achieve, I noticed I have a Cancer midheaven? Is that midheaven? Midheavens will be affected too in some way. Remember, midheaven represents your aim in life, what you want to do. So, and the dragon energy is right on that. So, anything you've been wanting to pursue, dream, achieve, repeat, do so. Do so. Follow the universal laws of the moon, though. And waxing is a green light to do things, sign contracts. Wanting is a red light of rest, relaxation, regrouping, redirecting our energy, and waiting for better stars. So if you ever have any questions, you can message me on Facebook, The Astrology Witch, or you can email me, astrologywitch22@gmail.com. I'm not that far away. You can always find me if you have questions. On to this week's forecast, though. So Venus goes direct, but Mercury goes retrograde the very same day, about 3 or 4 hours later. So with that being said, and thank you, Dream, for subscribing. I'm new to this. So I do talk radio, and I'm a DJ, but I'm not very good at the YouTube yet. I'm working on it. So welcome, and thank you for joining us today. Those of you who know about Mercury going retrograde, I'll post the do's and don'ts of it in the next day or two because it's coming up on the 16th. When Mercury goes retrograde, what this means is, I don't know how do I explain it in the simplest of terms. Chain reaction events seem to happen. I notice, this is just me, I notice that accidents happen, chain reaction accidents. A lot of Amtrak accidents happen when Mercury is in retrograde. I just need a little bit of water, sorry. I do think I'm getting sick. I could feel it. Okay. Amtrak. Anytime Mercury goes retrograde, I always notice Amtrak has an issue. There's either a disaster or an accident of some sort. Watch the stars. Don't travel. If you can possibly avoid traveling during a Mercury retrograde, don't. That doesn't mean you're not going to survive. I've traveled in a Mercury retrograde, and here's how it happened. I'll tell you my little story, Mercury retrograde. I happened to have to go somewhere, and it was to New Mexico on business. And I booked my flight in good stars because, Linda's always the lady that says you always book your airplane tickets in a waxing moon phase. You'll always be blessed by the stars if you do that. I did that. I even booked them on, I even booked the flight on a day that was my lucky dragon day, thinking, no problem. Not realizing in the process of doing this, I booked when Mercury was going to be in retrograde. I prepared myself for delays and annoyances, and sure enough, it happened right from the get-go. My flight was supposed to take off at 8:20 that morning, and I had a connection in Phoenix, and I was scheduled to be in Albuquerque by 4 o'clock that afternoon. Well, Mercury retrograde had other plans. My flight was delayed 5 hours because of fog here in Monterey Peninsula of California. We are known for our fog. So it took 4 hours for the fog to clear. We finally boarded. I was already 5 hours behind, and I had missed my connecting flight. I had to wait hours for that. Needless to say, I did make it to Albuquerque, but not till about 10:30 at night. I made it safe, and I had no problems, but that's just Mercury retrograde. I don't advise traveling, especially after a waning moon. Then we don't travel at all, because then accidents do happen. But Mercury retrograde, we don't buy cars in Mercury retrograde. Okay, we don't buy electronic equipment in Mercury retrograde. We don't sign contracts. I'll post the do's and don'ts. There's a whole list of them, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a few of them myself. But there are just certain things we don't do in a Mercury retrograde. Here's what we do in a Mercury retrograde. We clean up. We regroup. Unfortunately, the past comes back to us. So if it's a good experience, someone comes back from your past and wants to hang out, go for it. If it creates bad memories, then don't. But your past always comes back in Mercury retrograde, whether it's your old high school friend saying, "Hey, how you doing? I'm here in town, blah, blah, blah." Past always comes back. Mercury retrogrades are a good time to, if you're into the realm of magic. I always liked, some people go, "Oh, no, I don't like to do stuff in a Mercury retrograde." No. When Mercury is retrograde, if you're into casting spells and doing magic, it is the perfect time to rid yourself of things that are not working in your life, and doing spells to manifest that, doing spells to, rid yourself of unwanted unhealthy habits or weight, or, rid yourself of debt. You can do these spells in a Mercury retrograde, and it will give you a little more power behind the element of the planets and their placement. If you're doing a spell to rid yourself of weight, but you go after you've done your spell and eat a bag of Ho-Hos or Oreos, I'm sorry, that's not how it works. You have to put in the work too. But we'll talk more about that. But Mercury retrograde, no buying cars, no signing contracts, no traveling if you can avoid it. Take extra precaution when you are driving, because this is when car accidents happen the most. Mercury rules transportation. It rules, airplanes, planes, trains, automobiles. It rules communication. So for people out there that are into broadcasting or any kind of technology, you're going to see problems with technology. Some people go, "Oh, my computer's acting up," or "It's this or it's that." Mercury retrograde. Keep an eye out. I'll post a forecast about that in the coming days. I also wanted to talk about, and Mercury's in Sagittarius. So remember, Sagittarius is a happy-go-lucky sign. It's retrograding in a Sagittarius. It could be worse. It could be retrograding in a, Cancer, or, something that makes us incredibly emotional, or a Pisces. But it's retrograding in a Sagittarius. And if anyone knows a Sagittarius are the happy-go-lucky kind of people. I have a moon in Sagittarius, so I'm the kind of gal that likes to tell a joke. Come on, people, tell a joke, lighten the mood. Sagittarius. But because it's retrograding in this, we're going to have to take a little more serious side and reevaluate and regroup our surroundings. And that way we make better changes. And retrograde ends on December 5th of 2018. So it's only 3 weeks of a retrograde. I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as the last one. But after that, after December 5th, it's a green light. Buy your electronics and buy the things you need to buy for the holidays. Do not be tempted by any kind of Black Friday deals with electronics. Yeah, they may be great deals, but they're going to become headaches in the end. This is my advice to you. Okay. Let's see. Then we do have something coming this week. I call it the Days of Caution. If you're familiar with my website, you'll know what this means. The Days of Caution are 3 times a month. We have this concentration of energy, celestial energy, and it's usually negative in nature. I call them the Platonic phase, the Uranic phase, and there's also the Moonic phase. The Moonic phase I don't post too much about, even though it is ruled by the moon and its emotions and its family. I noticed that the Uranic and the one we have coming up, or this one, Uranic phase, Days of Caution, the 13th, the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. We're entering into this phase where you will see fault lines become crazy, volcanoes erupt, there will be shocking news. You'll hear about shocking news. This is the same energy that created the Las Vegas shooter. There's so many shootings nowadays, I can't keep track. The one in Las Vegas almost a year ago, it made headlines. You guys know what I'm talking about. We were in a Uranic phase when that happened. So shocking news happens in this phase. I'm not saying all shootings happen in this phase. The last one we just had, that was a Platonic phase. That's the devil's day. That Pluto, Platonic, it's dark. It's dark energy. Fault lines, volcanoes. Bizarre and shocking news makes headlines. Usually NASA makes headlines, or even SpaceX. Usually he's launching something from Vandenberg here in California. I don't even think Elon Musk realizes he's a robot to his own stars, but he always seems to want to launch something when we're in a Uranic phase, or the end, or the moon happens to be in Aquarius. Anyway, I'll have to have a talk with that Elon Musk. So you might hear SpaceX news, UFOs, aeronautic incidents. Sometimes airline disasters happen when the moon is waning in this. Technology, nukes makes the headlines, and basically it's uncontrolled energy that you're going to see. And so just be aware, watch the headlines. I'm more concerned with it closer to the 16th, 17th, and even extending into the 18th. Because remember, the dates I have, they govern a 24 to 48 hour time period. And I do that because Australia, my friend in Australia, when I talk to her, she's already almost 23 hours ahead of me. So, right now it's Wednesday afternoon there. I think it's 23 or 24 hour. Maybe it's 22. I'm not sure. So I give a long span of dates because the world is so vast and there's so many different time zones. And, Australia may be hitting the Uranic energy 24 hours before California does. So that's why I give such a long span of dates. But I'm more concerned with the 16th, 17th, and even the 18th because Mercury goes retrograde. And anytime Mercury goes retrograde and you have a Uranic placement like this, things are about to go haywire, cosmically speaking. Just be safe, know your surroundings. And luckily we're in a waxing moon phase right now, so I'm hoping that will make things go a little bit smoother for us, celestially speaking. And let's see, I think I have covered just about everything on my list. I have. Okay, so that is your forecast for November 12th through the 18th of this week. And I want everyone to have a very safe week. And I will come back in a few hours. I want to talk about the Jupiter report, because the one thing I didn't include in my forecast on my website is how it affects each and every sign by house and sign. Like I do with my forecasts, new moon report, full moon report. If you scroll down, I have a little blog about each sign and what energies are affecting your sign. I didn't do that with the Jupiter report. I'll admit I was lazy and I had to help my daughter with something for her school, so I just kind of left it blank. But I think what I'm going to do is just do another podcast, and I will cover January through December and Jupiter's forecast, because we have to talk about Jupiter. I hate always coming on here and talking negative. And even though I'm warning you and I'm giving you news, I don't want to be Debbie Downer all the time. I want to have a little fun too, and give some positive reinforcement. And what better way to do this than with a Jupiter forecast? So everyone that's in the chat, Kathy L., welcome. And yes, I seem to have a lot of cancers, or a lot of cancer energy today. It's all good. I wish cancers the best of luck for 2019. And know that you will be a little more emotional than usual during these next 18 months, because you are Cancer, and the dragon head is riding right on your sign. You're water, you're the moon, your emotions. So Cancer may be a little more emotional in the next 18 months, but that's okay. One thing I always tell my Cancer friends is this, because I have a lot of Cancer friends. A lot of you have a lot of intuition. Some of you don't even realize you have this intuition. I always tell my Cancer friends, what is your gut telling you? Go with your gut. If it's one sign, there's a few other signs that fall in line with this. Scorpio and Pisces as well. You're water. Water is intuitive energy. You feel things more. You'll feel things more than a Leo or a Sag will. So my best advice to Cancers right now is, what is your gut telling you? If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Go with your gut, because your own self, your own intuitions, your abilities that have been given to you celestially speaking are even stronger now because of this dragon energy that's right on you. So if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If it feels wonderful and you go for it. Go for it. But remember the universal laws. Waning moon is a red light. Waxing moon is a green light. If you can remember those two things, then you're good. And if there's any kind of topics you would like me to discuss or talk about, shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to discuss things. I'm actually thinking of offering, probably come springtime, it won't be very expensive, but I'm going to offer a 2-hour workshop via YouTube, where I'm going to teach you about the Nostradamus divine method of astrology. So if some of you might be interested in learning a little more about this method, I know, I can't say by name, but I know a handful of people in this world that are famous that use this method of astrology. One of them being, and I won't say the name, but the President of the United States, someone in his immediate family uses this method of astrology. So, and yes, Kathy, I know a lot of you are already feeling it. I'm a Capricorn. We're polar opposites, Cancer and Capricorn. Remember, the tail's on me. So I'm feeling this energy too. But I'm trying to go into it with a little more positive reinforcement. The mind's a very powerful thing. So if I think negative and negative things are going to happen, oh my God, this is going to happen to me, and that's going to happen to me, it's going to happen. So I'm going into it with this mantra for all of you out there that are Capricorn and you're fearful, all this energy, this tail is right on me. I want you to go into it with this mantra. this is what I say to myself. I'm a good person. I do good things for a lot of people. I have given a lot of my services away to help others in times of need. Remember, Capricorn is a karmic sign. So if you have good karma and you've done good through the past several years, this energy will not affect you very much. One positive to this for Capricorn, not so much Cancer. Like I say, with Cancer, it's all about intuition and swimming upstream to the stars, swimming up to the higher light. For Capricorn, it's going to be about talking less and observing more. And you know me, I'm Chatty Cathy. It's about talking less and observing more. It's about having retrospect. It's about having, it's about stepping back and looking at things in a more analytical manner and even in a more spiritual manner. There are a lot of Capricorns out there that I know that are atheist or complete, total religious nuts. They're going to see an awakening happen, especially for Capricorn, because those are the ones that dispute that there's, whether you want to call it higher power or energy or whatever. A lot of Capricorns who are very scientific dispute it. Can't touch it, see it, or feel it. Doesn't exist. A lot of Capricorns are going to have that major awakening. For myself, I'm already awake. My third eye is already open, so I'm open to endless possibilities now. Other Capricorns, their eye will open and they will see things in a very different manner come 18 months from now when that next dragon energy shifts into another sign. The one downfall to this energy for both Cancer and Capricorn is depression. And one thing I will give advice for my Cancer friends, even though I'm Capricorn, my natal dragon is in Pisces, which is water. And I'm a water baby. I love to swim. When I'm feeling depressed, I get to the water. Okay, Cancer, you need to get to the water. You don't survive without water. So when my Cancer lovies are feeling depressed and sad, emotional, get to the water. Whether you take a bubble bath, go to the beach, if you have access to the ocean, dip your toes in the water, let the sand hit in your feet, hit that sand, and let that magnetic energy hit you from your feet all the way up to your crown chakra, all the way up to the top. You'll feel this rejuvenation, and regenerating through water. So Cancer, get to the water, even if it's a lake, a river, a stream, a bubble bath. It's water. And that's how Cancer replenishes themselves. Now, Capricorn, you too. Remember, you've got the fishtail. Though you're an earth sign, you're called the sea goat for a reason. You need to regenerate with water as well. Some of you hate water, I get it. That's right. I did mention that, and I tell that to all my Cancer friends about water. One of my best friends is Cancer, and she's a fellow broom sister, fellow witch like myself, and she said, boy, ain't that the truth. We need water. It's very true. I need water myself. I don't know. It's just, water is purity. It's purifying. It's cleansing. I know for myself, the first thing I do when I get home from work is I take a shower to wash the day away. I'm dealing with little kids all day and, runny noses and sneezing, and I feel like I'm infected with germs, so I want to shower. I'm a germaphobe. That's a whole nother issue for a whole nother show. But yes, water, water, water. Get to the water when you're feeling down or depressed, even if you don't immerse your body in it. My mother has a rising in Cancer, and she's too old to walk on the beach or anything like that. So she makes me drive her to the beach, and just so she could see the ocean, smell the air. That within itself is tranquility and therapeutic. So even if you can't physically get into the water, Get near the water. The closer, the better. That is your rundown for today. I will try and return this evening with the Jupiter report. I'm going to really try to get this tonight because I have company coming in from San Diego tomorrow, and I don't think I'll have time to do this. So, Kathy, thank you for joining me. Dream Achieve, welcome. And Cancers, Capricorns, good luck. And in the next couple of weeks, I think you guys are going to need for me to run a big special so you can really benefit from this energy, both positive and negative, so you know the good and the bad days. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of intense, especially with 4 or 5 eclipses coming in 2019, all in Capricorn. I think we only have one that's in Leo. All the rest are Capricorn and Cancer. So, and those dates I had given on the eclipses, one thing I will tell you, and this is the last thing, and then I really do have to go. The one thing I will tell you is this. If you have a birthday that falls within 5 to 7 days of one of those eclipses, it's going to have direct impact on you. If it's solar, it's going to be outward. It's going to be very positive in nature, but it's going to have an outward impact. If it's lunar, remember moon's emotions, it's going to be more internal changes instead of outer changes. So remember that if you have a birthday anywhere near those eclipses, because they will affect both Capricorn and Cancer. Remember Capricorn, remember Cancer. We're in this together. We have 18 months of this energy. So we got to put on our turtle backs, get a hard shoulders if we're going to survive this. Okay? I'm here for you anytime. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to my new channel, and I will be back very soon. Namaste.